Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now. Let's talk about one of the most complex, yet fascinating aspects of the Cleveland Browns heading into this season, their quarterback room, and more specifically, the salary cap implications that come with it. This might sound like just another behind-the-scenes football story, but for Browns fans, it's a crucial piece of the puzzle that could dictate how competitive the team can be, not just for this year, but for years to come. And trust me, this situation is unlike any other in recent NFL history, especially when it involves a quarterback like DESHAUN Watson, whose contract and recent off-field saga have added layers of complexity that only make this story more intriguing. Let's start by setting the scene. The Browns have been in a peculiar spot at the quarterback position for quite some time now. After trading for Watson in a blockbuster deal, expectations skyrocketed. But the reality of his contract, along with the team's current roster decisions, creates a situation that's both fascinating and a little nerve-wracking for Browns fans. DeShaun Watson, for the 2025 season, is projected to account for a staggering 83% of the team's salary cap hits at the quarterback position. That's almost unbelievable when you think about it. For context, in the NFL, most teams spread out their quarterback cap hits among a couple of players, sometimes even 3, to manage the salary cap more effectively. But Cleveland, due to Watson's massive deal, finds itself in a different situation. In 2025, the Browns' quarterback room includes 5 quarterbacks, but only 4 of them are expected to compete for a spot on the roster. The 5th one, of course, is DeShaun Watson, whose contract is the elephant in the room. The other 4 quarterbacks are projected to collectively account for around $7.5 million in cap hits. When you compare that to Watson's $36 million, it's clear that the Browns are heavily reliant on their star quarterback, and that reliance comes with significant financial implications. It's a stark contrast that highlights the importance of Watson to the team's plans, but also the challenges of managing the cap when one player's contract dominates the budget. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Only a handful of quarterbacks in the entire league have a higher cap hit than Watson's $36 million for 2025. Those names are Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, and Joe Burrow, all established stars and franchise quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray are in a similar boat to Cleveland, with high cap hits that reflect their importance, but the Browns' situation stands out because of the sheer percentage of the cap that Watson consumes. It's a reminder of how much the Browns invested in their quarterback and how that impacts every other aspect of their roster-building efforts. But as Browns fans, you might be asking yourself, what does this mean for the team's future? Well, the truth is, the current structure doesn't leave a lot of room for salary cap savings in 2025 related to the quarterback position. Cleveland is pretty much locked into Watson's deal, which makes things a bit complicated. However, there is a silver lining, and it's tied to the possibility that Watson might not be able to play the entire season. If that happens, the Browns could potentially file an insurance claim, which could help them recover some of that massive cap hit. This idea of an insurance claim on Watson is something that's still uncharted territory in the NFL, and frankly, it's quite unprecedented. The concept is that if Watson is unable to perform due to injury or other reasons, the team could potentially claim some sort of insurance payout. That payout could then be used to help free up significant salary cap space in 2026, allowing the Browns more flexibility to improve their roster or absorb other contracts. It's a gamble, of course, because it hinges on Watson's health and whether the insurance policy will cover such situations, but it's a strategy that could have a profound impact on the team's future. This whole scenario is compounded by the fact that the Browns are unlikely to carry 4 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster for the entire season. It's common practice in the NFL to carry only 2 or 3 quarterbacks, depending on the team's needs and roster constraints. Cleveland, however, might be tempted to keep 4 during the preseason or early season to keep options open. But unless they make a trade or release one of their backup quarterbacks, they won't see immediate cap relief. If they decide to cut ties with a veteran like Joe Flacco or Kellen Mond, they'd still be responsible for dead cap space, which means those contracts would still count against the cap for a certain period. This adds another layer to the Browns' roster management strategies. They have to weigh the benefits of keeping a veteran quarterback for leadership and experience versus the financial implications of dead cap space. The team has been in a rebuilding phase, trying to balance the need for a stable and experienced backup with the financial realities of such decisions. Browns fans have been excited about the potential of this team, especially after last season's ups and downs, but the salary cap situation with the quarterbacks is a reminder of how intricate NFL roster management truly is. Looking at the bigger picture, this situation emphasizes how the Browns are operating in a different league in terms of financial planning. The NFL has seen some massive contracts in recent years, but Cleveland's approach with Watson's deal is one of the most significant and controversial. His contract, which is among the highest in league history, reflects the team's belief in him as their franchise quarterback. But it also means they're walking a tightrope, trying to maximize their roster around a player who takes up so much cap space. The team's current strategy seems to be centered around the hope that Watson returns to form and can lead them deep into the playoffs. That's the goal, of course, for every team, but in Cleveland, the stakes are even higher. With their recent history of playoff droughts and frustrating near misses, Browns fans are hungry for a return to the postseason and ultimately a Super Bowl appearance. The roster building, the cap management, and the quarterback situation all tie into that dream, and it's fascinating to see how the team navigates these challenges. Beyond the cap issues, the team's recent offseason moves have been designed to support Watson and bolster the roster around him. The Browns have invested heavily in their offensive line, wide receivers, and defense, knowing that Watson's success depends on the protection and weapons he has. Players like Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, and a solid defensive front are central to Cleveland's plans, and the organization's management is aware that maximizing Watson's potential is crucial for their Super Bowl aspirations. But let's not forget that the NFL is a league of unpredictability. Injuries happen, unexpected performances emerge, and sometimes, a player's contract becomes a significant obstacle or an advantage depending on circumstances. Browns fans have seen their team go through highs and lows, and this season promises to be no different. The quarterback room, with its massive cap implications, will be a key storyline, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Cleveland's coaching staff, led by head coach Kevin Stefanski, has been working tirelessly to craft a team that can compete at the highest level despite these financial constraints. The AFC North, as always, remains one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. The Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, continue to be a powerhouse. The Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, are always dangerous, and the Steelers, under new leadership, are looking to bounce back. Cleveland's challenge is to find a way to stand out amid this fierce competition, and managing their salary cap effectively is part of that strategy. The pressure is on, but the Browns have shown resilience and adaptability in the past, and this season will be no different. Now looking ahead, fans are naturally curious about how all of this will play out. Will Watson be able to stay healthy and perform at an elite level? Or will the team need to consider alternative plans if things don't go as hoped? Will the insurance claim become a game changer, providing the financial flexibility they need to make critical roster moves? And most importantly, can Cleveland leverage this situation to finally break their postseason drought and contend for that elusive Super Bowl trophy? The truth is, the Browns are in a fascinating position. They've invested heavily in their future, and while the salary cap situation with Watson looms large, it also opens up opportunities if managed wisely. The team's front office has been known for its strategic approach, and fans can take some comfort in knowing that every move, every roster decision, is part of a long-term plan to bring a championship back to Cleveland. So, Browns fans, as we watch this season unfold, keep in mind that the financial and roster management decisions made today will echo into the future. This isn't just about wins and losses. It's about transforming the franchise and securing a legacy that fans can be proud of for generations. The journey is complex, filled with challenges, but with the passion and resilience that Cleveland fans are known for, there's every reason to believe that this team can rise above and make history. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Remember, every season has its surprises, and this one promises to be no different. Stay with us as we continue to follow every twist and turn in the Browns' quest for greatness. Thanks for being part of this journey, Browns fans, and let's keep the faith alive because the best is yet to come.